Right?
It's weird. My first interview.
Can you tell us what your name is, bro?
My name is David LAHOZ. They call me Alf. I'm 44 years old. And the first thing I would like to say is that I'm free.
Beautiful, absolutely. Can you give us a little bit of your background, growing up as a child, and where you're from and things like that?
I'm Harlem born, from New York originally. I was born in Lincoln Hospital, Polo Grounds, 155th 8th Avenue. I grew up with a single mother, but I had a big family, lots of aunts, uncles, and cousins, grandparents that was there. Everything for us was family over everything. But I was a troubled kid. I always wanted to do things on my own. I rebelled against a lot. No matter how much love I had within my family, I just wanted to always do my own thing as a kid. And I came to Philly when I was about, I say, 10 years old. And coming to Philly was, for me personally, was a hard transition, because how New York was and how Philly was, it was different. In New York where I was at, it wasn't no racial barriers. And in Philly it seemed like it was. And that bothered me. So it was always like you had to pick a side sometimes in Philly. Not always the case with me, because I was always able to adjust. But in Philly as well, grew up with family, in the so-called streets as well. No matter what, my mother was out there in the streets, but she made sure that we ate good in the house. And I wanted to be behind her and other people in my family. And I chose the wrong path. And me choosing the wrong path put me to be in a situation that I thought would never happen to me. That would be the cause of me spending 28 years of my life in prison. I love to fight. Everybody knew me as that type of person. I was very outspoken. But I loved a lot. And those that I love, I can say that I'm thankful for today, because they still love me. Those that are good anyway. Those that are bad, leave them out. In prison, I went to prison at the age of 17 for second-degree conspiracy to a murder. And it was hard, because I will not say that I'm innocent, because things have happened with me being shot in the streets at the age of 15 and 16, stabbed in the streets, and I also got kidnapped before due to my ignorance and rambunctious ways in the streets. Going to prison, my first 10 years, I'm gonna tell you like this, I was lost. I didn't understand what I was locked up for. It took me 10 years to understand that I'm gonna die in prison. That was my reality at one time. My family always showed me love, but I didn't care, because I kept fighting in prison, going to the hole. I met good people that tried to put me on a certain path to do better, but as I was in the streets, I just didn't care. I always had something to prove, no matter what it was. After I did about 2 years in the hole for something, I said to myself, you know what? Life is real, and you gotta do something for some change, because I don't want to die in prison. So I made that change, and I fought. It was a hard fight, but I fought. I met people that I never thought that would be a certain beacon in my life, and a strength that would say, yo, come my way. You don't gotta do the shit that you're doing out there, and it's a different way. You don't have to be a religious fanatic, you don't have to be this, just be yourself. But to be yourself, you gotta know who you are and know what you want in life. And that was the hardest thing for me to do, to say, David, what is it you want in life? who you want to be. And the one thing that kept playing in my head was, I don't want to be another lost statistic or a person that dies in prison. So my journey began then. And that was in 2007 when I went to Dallas, SCI Dallas. Best thing that ever happened to me in my life. Hands down. Best thing. I put forth a lot to say that everything that I thought that wasn't for me became for me. I made it for myself. Went to school, still going. I learned how to talk. I had a bad stuttering problem. I can get away with it, catch myself more now. And I know God has a bigger plan for me than what I thought it was, and I'm here today. That's my journey. That's my life. And it's not for you. I'm not saying this for nobody to say, damn, look at him, and have sorrow or pity. No, I want you to look at me and say, yo, that dude right there is something about him, and know that it's a belief system that we have to have within each other to say, I can do better because he did it. You know, if it's just one, believe me, I know my job is done because I know that one person did the same thing to me and for me. And I'm free, you hear me? They thought I was gonna die in prison. I'm living in the streets, I'm in a park. I'm free and I love it. It's beautiful, it's amazing. Thank you.
How did it feel being sentenced at the age you went to prison? At what age were you sentenced
17.
to life? At 17 years old. How did it feel being sentenced and being told that you're going to spend the rest of your life in prison? Because in Pennsylvania, life means life. You come home in a casket.
No doubt. I didn't understand. I didn't understand what that meant, because in my mind, me being locked up for conspiracy to a murder that I didn't commit in my hands, but through my voice it did happen. I didn't think I was going to actually spend life in prison. I didn't believe it until time lapsed and it was wasted. I looked back, went in 17, now I'm 27. And I was like, uh-oh, hold up, something ain't right. So when I did realize it, that they're not playing, that their whole thing on us is to keep us in prison for all these reasons that PA sentenced us to, which is unjust because the laws of PA is crazy. But it happened. And that was the first time I think I got scared, when I recognized that fact.
And what emotionally, when you found out you were coming home, what emotionally were you feeling?
Oh man, that was the first time I think I went through anxiety and panic attacks. Because I wanted it so much, but I was scared. I was scared because I didn't know what I was coming home to. Outside of my family, they always been there. But everybody sees the world through a box in there, and me, I always try to be up front and say, yo, what's going on? I call. I was scared. I was really scared.
And how has the transition been? How long have you been home now?
I came 40 days.
40 days you've been home. So how has the transition been in the last 40 days?
My first week was I'm gonna say hell week, but at the same time it was emotional because everything that I saw and I spoke to, it was a cry of release. It was a release of, okay, what's next? And I panicked a lot. I was scared to cross the street. I cried in Dunkin' Donuts. Yes, I did. But now, I know that I gotta put one foot in front of the other and just keep it for what it is, that I'm here. And I had to keep telling myself, David, you're here. My cousin Mark and my brother's like, yo, you're here. And I gotta let that keep playing in my head, because if not, then I will be lost. Because this is my reality now. My reality now is that I'm here.
Yes, 100%. And also, this is the first time I've seen you. We spoke a couple times on the phone, but seeing you, this is the first time we've seen each other in, you know, maybe about 7 years. And seeing you right now is, I'm sitting in front of a different Alfie. You know what I mean? And it's beautiful to see that growth, see that change in you, and see you free. You know, it's a beautiful thing, brother. It's a beautiful thing. I look forward to what God has in store for you, brother. I know it's going to be great things.
Yeah.
I'm happy for you, man. I'm truly happy for you, brother.
Yeah, we're happy for you
being home.
Thank you for what you're doing.
Absolutely.
Like, that inspires us in there. You know, what this man did, and I'm speaking personally right now. This is my brother Frank. What he did, how he was, for him to come home and put his time and effort to say, yo, I have to do something to help the community and the people and first of all, myself. You inspired a lot. And we thank you in there, in the system, because that made me come home and say, yo, I want to be on that path. And I appreciate you and we thank you.
Thank you, brother. Anything else you'd like to say?
All I want to say is, man, free world, you're going to look out for me. My success story is going to be great because I believe it's going to be great. And I love y'all. I love it. It's beautiful. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you, brother.